It's been a bit of a different spring for me than what I'm accustomed to. I think most of it is when you sit down and you evaluate the fact that we have, I guess pretty much everyone returning that played significant snaps for us last year. Um, you know, we had some success with those kids, and now it's about making us deeper and better. And so the majority of the snaps this spring have gone to those younger kids that we need to develop, whether it's the O line or the secondary or other positions. But you mentioned a few names that have really stood out, this spring to me, and Skylar has. He flashes every practice. Casey Seegers flashes every practice. Ahmad Walker is going to be a heck of a football player, and those kids are two of those are still at supposed to be in high school. So I think this extra spring is paying dividends for a lot of those kids. Deron Lowe's had a really good spring, as has Rocket. In Jemison, I think we really improved ourselves in the secondary for sure. And linebacker, we're going to be young, but I'm excited about those young kids for sure. I say we're going to be young. We're young right now. We've got several kids out with surgeries and different things, but those young ones I hope can play roles for us.
What did you want to accomplish today on both sides of the ball?
Wanted to see a little more enthusiasm than I saw. I don't know if it was this is the first week we've gone 4 practices and we have, gotten after it a little bit. But I did think there were some flashes of good stuff. I thought the defense created some negative plays, and I thought the offense created some explosive plays, which are two things we put a big emphasis on. It's hard to feel good in my shoes because it's us against us right now. But those things happened. I didn't like we turned the ball over in the red zone. That's bad for offense. Defense caused it. That's good for them. But it's hard for me to feel good about it either way, really. So we'll watch the film, and I do know I thought Casey Seegers I think he's going to be a handful. He plays with a high motor, and I think he's going to be really good. I thought he flashed some today. Skylar flashed again, like normal. A little disappointing some of our younger offensive linemen. I didn't think they had the days that they've had some during the spring, like Chase Mitchell. We really need him to come on, and I thought he did not have a solid practice today. But that's good to see. You put him when the coaches aren't out there, and he's got a function. It tells us kind of where we truly are.
TJ Green didn't get reps initially in the spring, but got some between the tackles running and then showed his explosiveness on that 70-yard touchdown run. Is that what we can expect out of him? He's going to get you those yards in between the tackles and then has the ability to make a cut, plant his foot, and accelerate up the field?
I'd like to see that most every game. I hope that's what we get out of him. You saw today what we've seen in him, what we saw on his tape when we were recruiting him, and I won't tell you he's a mature, steady, positive. I love his attitude, love the way he goes about his business. And you saw that he has another gear that maybe we haven't had as much. Shadro has it also, but I really like where we are in that room. Obviously, J Mack, we didn't play him but one series. We know what he can do. And then you throw in there Shadro and TJ and even Troy and Capers. Has had some good runs this spring too. So I feel pretty good about that room.
I was going to ask you, Malik Capers, when did he shift from linebacker to running back?
Well, I think we made that decision last bowl practice. Really is when he got his first snaps there, and we've left him there.
Big run. I guess that's a big difference. Is he's a big, wide shoulder running back, and that's something that you didn't really have in your room. Was that intentional to get a guy who can, get you some punishing yards in the tight red zone, in short yardage situations?
That's always nice. We'll see if he develops into that more so than J Mac or or TJ or some of those. But definitely he's got the size, and I've been impressed with the times he has been called upon to run it. So we'll continue to see where that goes.
You said earlier this spring it's easy to nitpick the quarterback play. What did you see out of those guys today? Malik looked sharp in his limited series, and then we got to see a lot of the younger guys.
Thought Malik was fine. Thought he moved well in the pocket, kept his head and eyes downfield, which we've been an area of concentration for us this spring. Thought he played solid. Others still have a ways to go, look like, just from the film. Thought at times we did have protection and we made inaccurate throws a few times. And, most of them are young. We need JB to come on. Now, I don't remember JB, and maybe that's an unfair assessment. I don't remember him having a lot of quality opportunities today in the throwing game, but I'll watch the film and see.
I'm guessing you're going to be hitting the golf course here soon.
Jill's got her. I saw she had her visor on. She's like, "Where are you at? Let's go." We are going this afternoon, and we'll play this afternoon and go to church tomorrow morning. And I don't know if we'll see what the weather's like tomorrow afternoon. We've got some treatment and lift tomorrow afternoon, but I'm gonna play some for sure. Every chance I get.
Any more questions?
Hey, Coach. Coach, if I could, how's it going? Nice to see you. Coach, if I could follow up about Malik, what things have you seen from him in the spring that kind of show you that he's really elevating his game after such a prolific year he had last season?
We had several things we wanted to work on. A lot of times last season, his drops were a limit. His drops with the route concept, he would shorten them in a lot of situations, which creates problems in the pass protection. And so we wanted to concentrate on fundamental drops and get them right every time, and then his eyes staying downfield when some traffic is around him. And I think he's done, he's gotten better at those. He really has had limited reps this spring other than the endo, and I don't get a chance to watch every bit of the endo film all the time, but I trust Kent, and he believes that improvement has been made in this area.
Last one. How's Johnny doing? It looked like he got a little nicked up there on a pass play.
Yeah, I haven't talked to the trainers yet. I really have no idea. But when he got up, I told him it stinks to get old, doesn't it? And I call him old man all the time, and he laughs. So he wasn't in too much pain to be able to laugh. But I haven't talked to the trainers.
I was going to ask, how much of a boost is it to have a full spring schedule compared to obviously last year where you didn't have that?
Oh, I love it. I mean, getting these young kids the reps, you just can't. There's nothing that you can do to simulate that, so it's been pretty normal, and we've been fortunate that our bubble principles here are still working really well, and we haven't had many people have to miss because of COVID. So we've been fortunate there. Got 2 more left, and hopefully that continues. But a full spring is always the only thing that would make it better is if they would move it to June and let us do it in June where we have everybody here. But that would be. I would love to leave them with Dom and the strength staff all spring, and then give us just 2 weeks. I don't need 15 days. Just give us 2 weeks of like OTAs with everybody in June, and then get away from them again. But that really hadn't been an issue this spring because we were able to get quite a few here at mid-year. But in a normal year, when you come out of the season and you have a bunch of surgeries, you're usually in spring trying to, how do we make it through? And you feel like you didn't get the full effect of really what it's meant to be.
Guys, we have time for one last question. Anybody have one last question?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Kevin.
Hey, Coach. My name's Kevin Gore from the
Hey, Kevin.
Like Demi was talking about, there was a couple freshmen and a couple newcomers that were getting a lot of opportunities to make plays out in the field. Will this be a reflection of what's to come in the upcoming season? Are you going to be looking to use them throughout the next season, despite them being young guys?
Well, that's really hard to say. We will use anybody that we feel like is going to help us compete. And you never know how injuries are going to go from week to week or from season to season. But we sure would like to feel like we're three deep at a lot of places that we can play kids and not have a huge drop off. And so those young kids are vital to accomplish that goal. So. Yes, we are prepared to play them if they're ready.